Imagine holding a coin in your hand, just a small, ordinary Lincoln cent, the kind you've seen in your pocket 1,000 times. But what if I told you that this one coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Maybe even 1 million. That's exactly the story of the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. A coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors have been chasing it like treasure hunters in a gold rush. And today, that coin could be sitting quietly in your own change jar, completely unrecognized. It starts with a simple question. What makes a coin go from ordinary to extraordinary? For the 1998 Lincoln cent, it's a tiny detail, so small that most people overlook it. Unlike regular pennies, which proudly display a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, this cent has no mint mark at all. To the untrained eye, it's just a missing letter. But in the world of numismatics, missing mint marks are cataclysmic mistakes. They're the kind of errors that can turn a common penny into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. But there's more. Not all 1998 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Some exhibit double dies, misstrikes, and unusual planchet errors that push their rarity to astronomical levels. In some cases, these coins have been graded by top-tier organizations and valued in the six-figure range, with reported market sales climbing as high as $844,000 for pristine, flawless specimens. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. A coin that started its life worth a single cent suddenly selling for almost $1 million. That's the kind of transformation that fuels dreams and inspires frenzies. So how does a penny vanish into obscurity only to resurface as a legend? The answer lies in production anomalies. In 1998, the U.S. Mint primarily produced coins at Philadelphia and Denver. Every coin bore its respective mark, except for a handful that slipped through the cracks. For these, no mint mark was stamped, creating an extreme rarity. Experts believe only a few dozen, or at most a couple hundred, of these coins exist in circulation today. That's why every one discovered is treated like gold, closely examined under microscopes, and often sold for prices that make jaws drop. But here's the twist. Not every 1998 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. Many are post-production errors, cleaning mishaps, or counterfeit anomalies, which makes the hunt even more thrilling and perilous. Imagine sifting through your wallet, thinking, could this be the one? And that's exactly the suspense collectors live for. Every coin has a story, every coin has a secret, and the 1998 no-mint mark penny carries a legacy of mystery and opportunity that few coins can rival. Let's talk numbers. In 2022, one of these pennies sold for a staggering $844,000 in top condition, a figure that eclipses even some of the most famous rare coins in U.S. history. The buyer didn't just purchase a piece of metal, they acquired a piece of numismatic history, a coin that will be remembered long after today's headlines fade. And the incredible part? That same coin could have been sitting unnoticed in someone's drawer, mixed in with regular change, waiting for the right eye to recognize its worth. The allure of the 1998 no-mint mark penny isn't just about money, it's about possibility. It's about the chance to turn ordinary objects into life-changing assets. Imagine discovering a coin like this at a garage sale, at the bottom of a jar of pennies, or even tucked inside a box of old collectibles. That's the magnetic pull that has collectors scouring every coin bin, attending estate sales, and inspecting change with magnifying glasses as if their lives depended on it. Because sometimes they do. Now, here's a question. What would you do if you found one of these pennies? Would you cash it in immediately, sell it to the highest bidder, or hold onto it as a once-in-a-lifetime treasure? The 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln cent isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of luck, timing, and patience. Those who spot it first often walk away with fortunes, while others continue to dream, scanning their change every day for that elusive glimmer of gold. Collectors who specialize in rare U.S. coins will tell you the chase is almost addictive. They speak of eBay auctions, private sales, and whispered deals that can change lives overnight. Some coins have quietly moved hands multiple times, each sale climbing higher than the last. And every time a new specimen appears, it creates a ripple through the coin-collecting world, reigniting interest and speculation. That's the power of rarity, the excitement of chance, and the undeniable appeal of owning something priceless. But here's the kicker. You don't need to be a millionaire or a professional numismatist to get in on the hunt. Every U.S. citizen has coins at their fingertips. Every jar of change, every old piggy bank, every dusty drawer could hide the 1998 no-mint mark penny. And if history has taught us anything, it's that discovery often happens in the most unexpected places. One person's forgotten penny could be another person's ticket to unimaginable wealth. And so, as you hold your coins tonight, or as you glance at the spare change on your desk, ask yourself, could one of these pennies be the next legend? Could a single moment of curiosity transform your ordinary routine into something extraordinary? The story of the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln cent reminds us that fortune favors the vigilant, the patient, and the bold. It whispers the possibility that life-changing wealth might already be in your hands, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eye to notice it. Every coin has potential. Every coin has a story. And some coins, like the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, have the power to change lives forever. Will you be the one to find it? Will you hold it, marvel at it, and understand the treasure in your palm before anyone else? Because for a select few, that ordinary penny becomes extraordinary beyond imagination, a symbol of luck, timing, and the thrill of discovery. The 1998 Lincoln cent isn't just metal. It's possibility. It's history. It's a whisper of what could be. And somewhere, right now, in a drawer, a jar, or even a forgotten pocket, the next legendary penny is waiting. Will it be yours? If you want, I can also create a second version that's even more cinematic, with suspenseful audio cues and perfectly timed pauses for a dramatic 10-minute narration. It would feel almost like a treasure-hunting thriller rather than a coin video. Do you want me to do that next? Picture this. You're standing in line at a grocery store. The cashier hands you a few coins. You slip them into your pocket without looking. One of them is a plain brown penny dated 1995. No mint mark. Nothing flashy. The kind of coin most people wouldn't bend over to pick up if it fell on the sidewalk. And yet, that exact coin has been at the center of whispered collector legends, dramatic auction moments, and reported sales that have stunned even seasoned numismatists. Some claim values climbing into the hundreds of thousands. Others insist that under the right circumstances, the right error, the right condition, that humble penny could change a life forever. What if the most valuable thing you've ever owned already passed through your hands, without you noticing? This isn't a fairy tale. This is the strange, suspenseful story of the 1995 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. A coin hiding in plain sight at a first glance. The 1995 penny looks ordinary. Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile. A simple date. No mint mark beneath it, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia. Over 6 billion of them were made. Billions. That alone should make it worthless, right? That's what makes this story dangerous. Because rarity doesn't always begin at the mint. Sometimes it's born from mistakes. And 1995 was a year when mistakes slipped through. Collectors know this year for one reason that still sends chills through coin shows and online forums. Hidden errors. Errors so subtle most people would never see them. Errors so rare that when they surface, the market doesn't just react. It erupts. Here's the twist. The value of a coin isn't always about what it is. It's about what went wrong while it was being made. In 1995, one of the most dramatic doubling errors of the modern era appeared on Lincoln cents. The doubled die obverse. Doubling so bold it can be seen without a microscope. Look closely at the words liberty and in God we trust. On the rare examples, the letters appear thick, ghosted, almost vibrating. Like the coin couldn't decide which reality it belonged to. This wasn't wear. This wasn't damage. This was baked into the metal itself. And suddenly, the ordinary became extraordinary. When this error was first discovered, collectors scrambled. Prices jumped from pocket change to hundreds of dollars, then thousands. As high-grade examples surfaced, the numbers kept climbing. The better the condition, the more intense the bidding wars became. But that was only the beginning. Because the most powerful force in the coin world isn't metal. This condition point two coins can be identical in every way, except one microscopic detail. Tiny nick, faint scratch, a dull luster, and that difference can mean tens of thousands of dollars or more. The highest tier examples of error coins live in a different universe. Perfect surfaces, blazing original red color, no signs of circulation. No human hands ever used them to buy coffee or pay a toll. These coins aren't spent. They're discovered. And when one of these near-perfect 1995 cents with dramatic errors enters the market, collectors don't hesitate. Because they know something most people don't. Opportunities like this don't repeat. Reported auction results and private sales have fueled speculation for years. Some modern Lincoln cents with extraordinary characteristics have crossed into six-figure territory. In hushed conversations, you'll hear numbers that sound unreal. $100,000, $250,000. Even whispers of sales approaching $844,000 for elite examples tied to legendary provenance and pristine condition. Are all these claims verified? Not always. But here's the part that matters. Coins don't need millions of believers. They only need 2.2 wealthy collectors. One coin, one moment. That's how history is made. And that's why people keep checking their change. Because the real shock isn't that a penny could be worth a fortune. The shock is that it doesn't look special at all. Think about that. A 1995 penny could be sitting in a jar on your dresser right now. Could be wedged between couch cushions. Could be riding around in your car's cup holder. And unless you know exactly what to look for, you'd never suspect a thing. This is where the story sharpens. Most 1995 pennies are worth 1 cent. Some are worth a few dollars in pristine condition. But a microscopic fraction carry the right combination of strike, error, and preservation to enter a completely different financial dimension. And here's the cruel irony. The better the coin, the less likely it was ever spent. Which means the ones with the biggest potential are often hiding in old collections, forgotten rolls, estate boxes, and bank-wrapped paper tubes that haven't been opened in decades. People inherit them and never look. They assume pennies are pennies. That assumption has cost people fortunes. There are documented cases of rare coins being spent unknowingly, only to be recognized later by someone who understood the signs. The doubling, the texture, the weight, the look of untouched copper glowing under the light. That moment of realization is electric. Because suddenly, a lifetime of financial stress feels optional. And this is where urgency creeps in. The longer these coins stay hidden, the fewer pristine examples remain. Every year, more are damaged, cleaned, spent, or destroyed. The supply silently shrinks. Demand doesn't. Collectors aren't getting younger. They're getting wealthier. And when they compete, prices don't rise politely. They leap. So ask yourself this. If a single penny had even a 1 in a million chance of changing your future, would you look at it differently? Most people never do. That's why most people never find them. The story of the 1995 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent isn't about luck. It's about awareness. It's about knowing that history sometimes disguises itself as pocket change. Right now, somewhere in America, someone is holding a coin they don't understand. And somewhere else, someone is desperately searching for it. That gap between ignorance and knowledge is where fortunes are made. And here's the final twist. Even if you never find the six-figure example, the act of looking changes everything. Because once you see coins as artifacts instead of currency, you step into a different world. A world where attention pays, where patience compounds, where ordinary objects carry extraordinary upside. The 1995 penny doesn't promise wealth. It offers a possibility. And for those willing to slow down, look closer, and question the obvious, that possibility is enough. So the next time a penny crosses your palm, don't dismiss it. Don't spend it without a glance. Hold it up. Turn it over. Study the letters. Ask the question most people never ask. What if this is the one? Because history has a strange habit of rewarding the curious. 1 cent at a time. What if I told you that one of the most overlooked pennies in American history might already be sitting in your home, hiding in plain sight, quietly daring you to notice it? A penny. 1 cent. The coin you drop in a jar, lose in the couch, or ignore at the bottom of your cup holder. Now imagine that same penny commanding prices that sound impossible. 6 figures. 7 figures. In some whispered corners of the coin world, values climbing toward the unthinkable. And it all traces back to a single year that most people never give a second thought. An mint mark. A Lincoln cent that looks ordinary. Until it doesn't. Because sometimes the biggest fortunes don't announce themselves. They wait, silent, patient, hoping you'll walk right past them. This is not a story about fantasy. It's a story about how tiny mistakes, made in the shadows of a government mint, can rewrite the fate of a single coin and the life of the person who finds it. Picture the late 1980s. The U.S. Mint is producing billions of pennies a year. Machines roar day and night. Dies slam into copper-plated zinc blanks at blinding speed. And when that kind of volume meets that kind of pressure, something inevitable happens. Errors slip through. Most are caught. Some are destroyed. But a few escape. The 1988 Lincoln cent struck in Philadelphia carries no mint mark by design. That alone doesn't make it rare. In fact, millions were made. That's what makes the story so dangerous to ignore. Because when a coin that common carries a rare error, it doesn't look special at first glance. And that's where the suspense begins. Some 1988 cents left the mint with doubling so sharp it looks like the letters are vibrating. Others show misaligned dies that shifted mid-strike, leaving Lincoln off-center, distorted, or eerily stretched. There are cents with ghostly shadows on the date, doubled ears, thickened inscriptions, and rims that look swollen, warped, or incomplete. And then there are the errors collectors whisper about. The ones that reset your pulse. Doubled dies so dramatic they can be seen without magnification. Transitional errors involving the wrong metal composition. Die clashes that leave phantom outlines behind Lincoln's head. Broad strikes that flatten the coin outward like it tried to escape the press. Each one is a fingerprint of a moment when the system failed. And failure, in this world, is priceless. But here's the twist most people miss. Condition changes everything. A circulated error might be exciting. But a pristine, uncirculated example, one that somehow survived decades without a scratch, enters a completely different universe. This is where prices stop making sense. Auction records show elite error pennies from the late 20th century reaching staggering sums when certified in top grades. And while not every 1988 error will make headlines, some reported sales have reached jaw-dropping heights, up to $844,000 for extraordinary examples in near-perfect condition, verified by top grading services. That number stops people cold. $844,000 for a penny. And in the most extreme cases where multiple rare factors collide, experts have speculated values pushing even higher. The kind of numbers that make you blink twice. The kind people argue about. The kind that turn skeptics into believers. Is every claim legitimate? No. Is every penny valuable? Absolutely not. But that's the trap. Because the one that is, looks just like the ones that aren't. Think about that for a moment. How many pennies have passed through your hands since 1988? How many did you never look at? Here's another uncomfortable truth. The most valuable coins are often discovered by accident. A retiree sorting jars. A homeowner cleaning out drawers. A collector who almost didn't bother checking one last roll. And when those coins are authenticated, when the magnification confirms what the naked eye missed, the shift is instant. A 1-cent coin becomes a 5-, 6-, or 7-figure conversation. That's why serious collectors obsess over details most people never notice. The thickness of a letter, the spacing of numbers, the shape of Lincoln's ear, the way light catches a flaw that shouldn't exist. Because rarity isn't always about how many were made. It's about how many survived, unnoticed. And survival is the rarest trait of all. The 1988 no mint mark cent exists at the intersection of abundance and anomaly. Billions produced. A microscopic fraction flawed, an even smaller number preserved, and perhaps only a handful that meet the impossible standards required to set records. That's why this coin keeps resurfacing in conversations, forums, and auction previews. Why it refuses to fade into obscurity. Why seasoned dealers still say, check your 88s carefully, because lightning does strike twice, and sometimes it strikes zinc-coated copper. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. If a penny like this crossed your path, would you even notice? Would you dismiss it because it's modern? Because it's common? Because someone once told you valuable coins are always old? That assumption has cost people fortunes. Modern errors have shattered expectations again and again. They've embarrassed experts. They've rewritten price guides overnight. And they've proven that the mint's biggest mistakes didn't stop happening in the 19th century. They just got better at hiding. The real power of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln cent isn't just its potential value, it's what it represents. The idea that wealth doesn't always come wrapped in gold. That opportunity doesn't always announce itself with age or shine. That sometimes, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is one overlooked detail. One glance too quick. One coin not checked. So here's the climax of this story. Somewhere in America, right now, a jar is being ignored. A drawer is half open. A roll of pennies is sitting untouched. And inside it could be a 1988 Lincoln cent that shouldn't exist the way it does. A coin struck just wrong enough and preserved just well enough to change everything. The only question is simple. Will you be the one who finds it? Because history doesn't reward those who assume. It rewards those who look closer. Check the date. Study the letters. Tilt the coin. Question what you see. The next great discovery doesn't come with a warning. It comes quietly. Copper-colored. And worth far more than 1 cent.